Hello everyone, hope you're doing good and welcome back to my channel. Today we are at problem of the day 10 for the April month 2024 and we have a easy question in front of us. Uh, I will say that though it is marked easy, but see the constraints here. If you're able to solve in these constraints, only then consider it as easy one. If you're not able to solve in this particular constraints, then it's better not to consider them as easy because that's not what this question is aimed for. Okay, this particular question will teach you a topic, right? If you know the topic well and good, you can achieve this complexity. Otherwise you will not be able to achieve this complexity, and especially I'm talking about this, right? So let us say what this question is all about. It's party of couples. So basically, as you can see, we are given array, okay, array of integers, and the length of the array is n, which is also given to us, right? Then you are given an integer array arr and of size n representing n number of people in the party. Each person is denoted by integer, okay? So each of these persons are basically they are simply denoted by integer, right? Couples are represented by the same number, that is, two people have the same integer value, it means they are couple. So as you can see, one is getting repeated, right? So that means it represents a particular couple, right? As simple as that. It means they're a couple, right? Find out only single person in the party of couples, okay? It is guaranteed that there exists only one single person in the whole party, right? So in this particular example, if you can see, number two is getting repeated, right? That means it represents a couple. Similarly, number one is getting repeated, right? So it is again representing a couple. So only number which is present only once is three, right? Rest all of them are present twice, right? So similarly, there are other examples as well. You can go through it. In this particular example, you can see that everything is getting repeated. Only four is not getting repeated. So four will have to return as the output, right? And remember what is there. The expectation is, see, this is fine. Okay, I'm not asking you to consider this as something big or small, but what I am asking you to do is see this. Okay, see, it's very easy to solve this. I know that, but can you solve it in this particular complexity, right? Remember one thing always. See, when you solve some questions, there should be always something a bigger picture you have to consider, right? So in this particular question, when the questions are on the easier side, always remember the follow-ups that will happen in an interview, right? When you're sitting in a face-to-face interview, the follow-ups will happen, right? And they will try to make it somewhat harder. Okay, so when you see easy question, do not think like you are about to clear the interview, but your focus should be on a side that if follow-ups come, do I have my best for the for a later approach, right? That's what it is. So start with the brute force approach and save the best for the last. That's what I would say, right? So in this particular problem, let's see what is the basic approach that we can have. So this particular approach which I'm going to show you is going to be of space complexity of n. Okay, I know that they are asking of one space complexity, but for now let us see this. Okay, in this what I'm using a set. You can use anything, by the way. You can also use a mapping in Python and whatever you want. There are many ways to do it. In Python, in mapping, basically you have to store a key and value pair, which will slightly take more value, more memory. But yeah, it doesn't impact the time complexity. But so in this case, I'm taking a set, right? What I'm doing, I'm going through each element of the array. Okay, what I'm doing then, I'm checking if the element is already existing in the array. Okay, if it is existing in the array, remove it. If it is not existing in the array, that is, if it's not existing in the set, simply add it. Okay, as simple as that. When this for loop completes, okay, remember one thing: if a single thing is present more than once, it will be removed, right? That's what is more important here. And if something is present only once, it will not be removed. So when we come out of this for loop, there will be a single element present in the set, right? And finally we are popping that element out, as simple as that. And that whatever is popped out is being written out of this function. Okay, if I can quickly run this and show you. So basically this selection also I've already segmented and is getting accepted, so you can also do that. There is no issue here, though it's not matching the expected time complexity, but still it's getting segmented, right? It's getting accepted. So that was it. And if you see the time complexity, it's off. And why? Because we are using a for loop and going throughout each of the elements, right? So that's why time complexity often. If you come tell about the space complexity, it's the worst case space complexity. That means though this will actually, yeah, this you cannot say it often because you see everything is getting repeated twice. Okay, so let's say we have let us say we have two n elements, right? We have two n elements. In that case, can you quickly tell me how many elements will be there in the set in the worst case? So if there are two n elements, what that means is out of them only one element is going to be single, right? Rest all the elements are going to be in pairs. Okay, that it will not be 2n, it will be, let us say, 2n plus 1, right? So in this case, can you say there will be n elements which will be repeated? But remember, in a set we do not repeat the things as such. Okay, if a element is getting repeated, still it is stored only once, right? So the set will store only n elements, as simple as that. So if you are trying to make it clear, so let us say we are given n plus 1 elements, then in this case the set will store only n by 2 elements, right? It will store only n by 2 elements and obviously one more element. And remember, this is in the worst case. Okay, because see, In this case, what happens is, say once the element is added, at the same time it will remove also, right? Once we are witnessing it. So let us say all the unique elements are coming together, and ultimately they're getting at a later time. So in the worst case, this could be the maximum number of elements that can be stored. So yeah, I'm just rounding off it and writing it, but obviously that is not the actual case. In actual, if they are asking you, we'll have to say this, right? That's what it is. So for now, let us skip it, because this is not our best approach, right? This is just you can say that just a brute force approach, as simple as that. Now coming to the best part. See, best part involves knowing a particular concept. Okay, what is that concept? It's the XOR concept. If you know that concept, then I'm sure that whenever you see this question, the first thing that will come to your mind, especially after seeing this particular constraint, is that we are trying to do XOR. As simple as that. What is XOR, by the way? So I have taught this in many of my videos. See, these things are very, very important. When the topic of bit manipulation comes and all these things comes, this operation becomes very, very important. Okay. So what is XOR? See, XOR, if you ask me what it is a bitwise operation. First of all, in this particular sense, actually we are doing a bitwise operation here. What that means is, see, let us say I have a number like this, 101, right? If this is the symbol for XOR, okay, what I'm typing now is a symbol for XOR. And let's say I'm again doing it with 11, okay, 101. That is same XOR I'm doing. So what will happen is that, see, it will do a bitwise XOR. Okay, for example, this bit will be taken and this bit will be taken and XOR will be done. So XOR, what happens is that if the numbers are same, there is one XOR with one. Okay, if the first the in the bit one is present and in the other bit one is present, that is in both bits same number is present. So what is the XOR going to be? It is going to return 0. Same is the case for 0 also. That is, whenever the bits have same value, the XOR result will be giving 0. Okay, at the same time, whenever the bits are having different values, okay, what XOR will give? XOR will give as 1. Okay, similarly the other case, right? 0 1 1 0, all those like permutation combination you can do, and that is what we are going to write. So just try to understand the bigger picture here. If values are same, the bit values are same, the bitwise XOR will give 0 for that particular bit. Okay, if the bit values are different, it will give you 1. So if you do the XOR of this, as you can see, all the bit values are same, so ultimately you're going to get an answer of 0. At the same time, if you so this actually the logic which I'm going to use. Okay, this is what I'm going to use actually. Okay, let me not go for any further example, because this is exactly what I'm going to use. Okay, what I'm guessing doing here is, see, let us say I already number is already present. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm starting my answer with 0. Every time I'm going through each of the elements in the given array and I'm XORing it with my answer. Okay, as you can see here, answer is equal to answer XOR I. Okay, as simple as that. Once I come out of this for loop, I am returning the answer. As simple as that. Okay, so what I'm doing here, try to understand this fact. See, let us say 1 is there already. Okay, so what will my answer now? And the answer will also be 1. Okay, in this case, then I am XORing it with 2. Okay, what will be the answer? It doesn't matter to me, but let it be just there. Okay, next 3 is coming, fine. Then when 2 repeats, try to understand this fact. What happens? See, whatever is the number of ones added to the answer because of this will be eliminated when we do XOR with this. Why? The same thing because of this. Okay, see, whatever was the result, because see, you are not taking number A, right? You're taking number A and you're doing XOR with a particular this value, let us say. Okay, then when again do XOR with the same value, what happens is it gets nullified, right? Whatever was the thing, whatever was the impact of that to the bits of that particular number are getting nullified. So the idea here is very, very simple. If you're doing 2 times the XOR, then its value is getting nullified. Okay, so if you want in a simple terms, let us say I have a variable X. Okay, I'm going to do a XOR of it. Okay, I'm going to go do XOR of it with a particular number. Okay, any number you can say, for example, let us say 10 or 9, whatever it is. Then if I do again a XOR, okay, if I again do XOR of the result with the same number, the idea here is I'm going to get back, going to get the X again back. Okay, so that is the basic idea. That's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm doing the XORs. So what will happen is the numbers which are present more than once will actually nullify on its own, right? And ultimately I will have only the value which is present only once, and that will I'm going to return it. Okay, that is the basic idea. So let me quickly comment on these particular steps. Okay, and let me quickly run and show you. I've already submitted the solution as well, and obviously it is getting accepted. It is the best solution possible. As you can see, it's getting accepted, right? This was the test case. So if you talk about the space and time complexity, remember, time complexity will be still the same because we are again using a for loop and we are going through each element of the array once. So it will be still often. But if you ask me the space complexity, as you can see, we are using a single variable. So think of it in a bigger picture. Okay, see, time and space complexity are always, a relative term. Okay, it is not the exact term always. And in none of the cases, it's the exact term. It's always a relative term. So what I mean to say is, see, whatever with the value of n, okay, whatever is the value of n, irrespective of that, I am going to use only a single variable, okay, to store the answer. As simple as that. Okay, so that's why the space complexity in this particular case is a constant one. Okay, there's also a different way of writing it as over one. As simple as that, right? So in this particular case, this is what it is. So yeah, friend, that was all for this particular problem. This we have already achieved, and I have shown you the same. These constraints for now do not matter. But yeah, remember one thing again. Let me tell you this: if you are solving this particular question in, let us say, C++ or Java, all of those languages, what happens is that you will have to always consider the variable. Okay, for example, see here, whenever I'm doing XOR and all those steps, remember one point, because see, the answer can exceed the limit attached to it. Okay, so that's why you will have to consider these things first, whether the XOR result can exceed this limit or not. That is, let's say you have taken an integer, you have to again consider what is the maximum number that can be stored in integer, and whether this XOR operation will overflow that particular limit or not. Then you will have to decide the data type of the answer accordingly. Okay, when I say data type of the answer, I mean this variable, right? So I hope you understand these facts. That's why Python in a way is as you can say, like, we don't have to consider those fundas, right? As simple as that. That's what I wanted to say. But yeah, you should have idea of these things, because once you come into the IT industry, you are bound to know all these cases, because definitely your code will fail because of these reasons. Remember, Python is just a medium. The main purpose of all these things is to just to teach you the knowledge of the XOR operation, right? Python is just a medium. You can also do the same in C++, Java, whatever it is. I'm just it's an easier way to show it. That's why I'm using it. As simple as that. So yeah, friends, that was all for today. If you like my efforts, please do consider subscribing to my channel. It takes a lot of efforts to come out of the busy schedule of the work and make videos to teach you the different problems, to teach you what you can expect if a similar problem comes in an interview, to give you all the insights of that. So please do consider subscribing to my channel, so that we all can be together, and yeah, that gives us a reason to create videos and get to know in coding, right? So yeah, friends, that was all for today. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.